Hello?
Hello?
Hello, I'm on?
Hey, Nick, can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Good, good.
How's your spring break going? I thought you canceled on me. I was like, oh
No, no,
man.
no. Just give me a, yeah. I was just trying to set up my computer. Just took a while.
Yeah, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I started some of this stuff. I started the worksheet on Monday for balancing redox reactions.
Uh-huh. Right.
So I'm on there so far. I think you made a typo though on the worksheet you wanted us to practice, because I mean I wasn't looking up for the answer. I was just comparing my key to see what directions were. And for the one you uploaded for balancing redox, you put basic solution, when on the answer key for the first four it says acidic.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know on that.
Uh-huh.
So I was a little bit confused on that.
Yeah, just practice all of them with basic. That's what I would recommend.
Okay. So you want all of them to? So you want us to practice all of them in basic?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else here? Or?
No, I don't see anyone. It's just you and me.
Okay. I don't see your screen, so.
Oh, let me share it. Right. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, great. Right, yeah. So you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Can you do number 5 on the balancing redox reactions?
So number 5.
Yes, please.
Did you do it already? Did you get the answer?
I got 3H2O2 plus
Did you compare that
Cr2O.
to the key?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
You
apparently.
got the right answer?
Yeah.
So, yep. You got 3H2O2,
Mm-hmm.
1 Cr2O7, 8H plus, giving you 3 oxygens, 2 chromiums, and 7 waters.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the right answer.
For the first one, I got it doesn't matter where you put the electrons at, does it? In this case, or no?
For which one? Which
For
state?
like the first 4?
For the first 4? Yeah, the first
Yeah.
4, this is like, it's just teaching you one step of,
One
I
step.
mean, not just one step. I mean, it's just working on one half of the reaction. It's not talking about both halves. It's just asking you to practice with one half at a time. That's just for practice. That's not how you're going to see the question on the exam. The
Okay.
way you're going to see questions on the exam will be like you see question number 5 through number 14, where you have the whole
Okay.
thing together.
Okay. Can you do one of the ones with basic solution, because that's the one like it's going to be crucial in the exam, right?
Yeah, like as I said, you can do any of these questions as basic, like even question number 5 through 9, you can change it to basic. You know, in basic, you add 2 more steps, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the first few steps of acidic basic is same. For basic, you just need to do 2 extra steps. So even for the question number 5 through 9, which says acidic, I will even recommend just for practice, even those ones, you change it to basic.
Oh,
just for
okay.
practice.
Now, when you're going to a basic, you start. For example, I would put for number 5 the O2 and the H2 together, right? And then the dichromate and the chromium separate, right? Separate group,
Right. So you once you get this answer, can you see the screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Once you get this answer, you just need to add the OH minus on both the sides. So that's this is what you got. Then your next step will be to make it basic. This is the answer you already got for acidic, right? So after this, you see that there are 8H plus here?
Yeah.
And we don't want that 8H plus.
Hmm.
What we want instead is OH minus because it's basic.
Right.
So I'll add OH minus on both the sides.
Hmm.
How many OH minus should I add? Can you tell me?
OHs 8,
Yes.
right?
Eight on each side. Yes. Why 8? Because,
That's the number of hydrogens, right?
yeah, number of protons.
We're
Don't
trying to
call
get
it
rid of.
hydrogen. That's H plus, right? So call
Right.
it a
Yes.
proton. So 8 OH minus 8 OH minus on both the sides.
Hmm.
So now you got to rewrite this again. What happens to 8H plus and 8 OH minus? Can you tell me?
Um, don't they cancel? Don't you cancel them out? Right.
They cancel what out?
Well, aren't you adding it? Well, you're adding it. Well, you're adding it to both sides. Or no, I really don't. This part I got confused on. Honestly, I
Right.
forgot this part.
So you add OH minus on both the sides, right?
Yeah, you do. Yep.
So this H plus and OH minus can react with each other. So look here, OH minus and H plus can react with each other to give you H2O.
Oh yeah, that's
Can you
right.
see that?
Yeah.
H plus OH minus will give you water. So that's what you do. If you have, so Nick, tell me, if you have 8H plus and 8OH minus, how many waters are you going to make?
8 waters.
Yes, 8. So 8H2O. And this gives you 3O2 plus 2Cr plus 3. I'm just copying that.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 waters. Now, this was step number 1 after you balanced the equation. You added OH minus. You made waters out of it. Your second step is to cancel the waters. You see now you can cancel the waters. There's 7 water here and 8 waters here.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have to rewrite this after canceling, what should I write? 3H2O2 plus Cr2O7 negative 2. How many waters do you think will be left here?
Um,
There's
wouldn't
7
there just be
here.
one water left? Wouldn't there just be one water left?
Just one. Yeah. So H2O gives you 3 oxygen, 2 Cr plus 3. And here you can see no water will be left, right?
Mm-hmm.
This whole 7H2O has canceled this 7 from the other side out of 8. So you're left with 1 water. So this will be your
Mm-hmm.
answer if it was basic.
Mm-hmm. Now in the exam, this won't be multiple choice. It'll be free response, right?
Yeah, this question is, yeah, this is free response. You have to do like the whole balancing thing for the question.
Mm-hmm. And that's 2A plus, what's that? 2 plus 2A plus 3, or what is that?
Where?
Then after the 302?
302, I just copied this. 2 Cr plus 3.
Oh,
2,
2CR plus 3.
yeah. I'm just copying from here, right?
Yeah.
That didn't change. 2 Cr plus 3.
So basically, that's what we're always going to do with our final steps of these, right?
If it's basic.
Now, if it's for acidic, we just do. We don't need to do the 2 steps, right?
Yeah, you just stop here. So you got this answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get this answer, that's your final answer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Now, if
do
it's
the 2 extra steps. If it's basic, then you do these 2 extra steps.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think it's starting to pick up. I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah,
Before
sure. That's good.
I take approach on it. I mean, I figured. I mean, I may be the only one during spring break, but my main concern is I don't
That's
want to
good.
fall behind
Yeah, that's good.
because the exam will be here before you know it, and then I'm going to be panicking.
Yeah, that's good.
So, now for example, now for like number 7, this is the same thing. They're all the same thing, I'm sure, right? For
Yeah.
number 7.
See, all the questions are the same. That's the good thing about balancing redox equations. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing is tricky. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're all same questions. If you know your steps, you can do any redox equation.
Mm-hmm. Because first of all, you're supposed to break them up, right?
Right. For acidic conditions, yes. Or
Yes,
for any
because for
condition, yeah.
like for number 7, I would do RE with that's ReO4, which is -1, and then I put right here RE next to it.
If you
Be my
do that,
first step,
just give me a
and
second.
then IO and then IO3. Now, for example, RE would be a zero charge, right?
So you mean ReO4 negative gives me
Yeah.
what?
RE, right?
Re, and what's the second half?
IO minus, and then I think that's IO3. Does it matter the order or no?
What order?
Does it matter the order I put those in or no?
You
Because
mean which one is
storage.
first, which one is second? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, that doesn't matter. You
Okay.
just break it into two halves.
Because first of all, I know already that RE is zero because you said there's no charge because you don't see a charge there.
This one?
That's just zero. Yeah, right? That's zero,
Yeah.
right? That
But
one's
you should
negative
not
one, right?
start with charge, right? You have to start with something else. Charging is later.
Yeah. I have to start to see how many we have on each side, right?
Yes.
And REs, we have one. We have to, whoa, this is balancing. We have to do balancing first. I remember.
Right.
Okay, first of all, we have one RE on the left side,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we have 4 oxygens on the right side. So wouldn't I have to add um waters on the right side?
Yeah. How many waters?
4.
4. Right. And then?
And then again, wouldn't I have to do protons in this case? As I know,
Right.
you said not to look at hydrogens as hydrogens, look at them as protons.
Right.
And we'd have to go with 8 of them, right? On the
Right.
left side.
Right. And then?
And then wouldn't I have to also wouldn't I have to do charges next? Or am I missing a step?
No, you're good. Yeah. After this, you do the charges. So what's the charge on each side?
Well, on 8H it's 0,
Where?
and on the 8H that's 0,
How
and
is
on the
that
R,
zero?
huh?
How is 8H plus 0 charge?
Oh wait! I see that. I forgot. There's a plus on top, so that means there's
Yeah.
8 of them,
Right. So
which is a
what's the whole
positive one
charge
charge.
on the left-hand side? What's the charge on the left-hand side?
Okay. First of all, I'll do the A. I'll break it up, and then there's a -1 on the RE.
Right.
So there's 7, right?
Right. And what's
Because
the
these
charge?
two are 0.
Right. What's the charge on the right-hand side? 0?
0, right?
Right. So what should I do?
Shouldn't I have to get the 7 to equal 0 as well?
Right. How would you do that?
Subtract it by 7.
Subtract what by 7? You cannot just subtract
7.
numbers. I mean, you're balancing charge, so you gotta
Yeah. Well,
add something that
basically,
has a charge in it.
I would add a -7, right?
So there's negative. I cannot just add a number +7 or -7. I have to
Right.
add electrons, right?
Right.
So you tell me how many electrons do I add? 7
Uh.
electrons?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll add 7 electrons here, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So don't say you just add 7. You add 7 electrons,
Right. That
right?
would be on the left side, right? The 7 electrons.
Yeah, because it's the more positive side.
Now, for example, always on the more positive side, you're going to put the electrons at, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we have 7 electrons on the left side, and that would give me the 0, right?
Uh-huh. And now since both sides are 0, both sides are equal, you're done with balancing the charge.
Right. Now I have to worry about the next side, right?
Uh-huh.
As well, isn't there for I well, again, there's oxygens on the right side. It's not do the same, right? For this
Uh-huh.
case,
So what should we
like
do?
we have 3 oxygens for
Right.
IO on the right side, and we have 1 oxygen
Mm-hmm.
on the left side. So wouldn't I just have to put a 3 in front of that?
No, you can't do that. If I put a 3 here, then it makes
It'll
3
change the
iodine.
iodines. It'll
But
change the
here,
iodines in it.
yeah, so how do you balance oxygens? In redox equations, how do you balance oxygens?
Um, let's part I forgot.
Here, so how did you balance oxygen in this case?
Oh
ReO4
yeah, oh
minus.
yeah, hydrogens, right? Or protons, I should say, right?
So to balance oxygen, you add protons. How does that make sense?
Oh wait, no, it doesn't. I had to put waters. That
Yeah,
makes
so
more
add
sense.
waters. Yeah.
Hmm.
So how many waters should I add?
Well, we have two. We have one oxygen there. So when we just need what? When we just need two waters.
So I should add 2 waters, 2H2O. That's right. That will give me total 3 on left and 3 on right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's next?
No, protons, right?
Right. On what side?
On the right side, which would make four.
4 protons. Okay. And then what's our next step?
Isn't our next step isn't our next step to see the charges on each side?
Right.
No, no, where the IO where we added the water, the two waters, that's just -1, right?
Right.
And we have three IOs in that one. That would be three of them, right?
What is 3?
Wouldn't that be -3 right there for that
This
one?
one?
Yeah,
No.
just -1 again.
Yes, because you see the IO3 together has a -1 charge. If I
Okay, yeah,
was
that's
saying
just
I had
this.
3 in the front, that's when I'll multiply by 3.
Okay, that's just the subscript right there. Again, that doesn't matter, does it?
Right.
Okay.
So what's the charge
One.
on right hand side?
Um, and then we have four H's. So, but don't that wouldn't that be +2? Because the two -1s that becomes -2, and then we have four protons, right? So that's +2.
Where did you get the -2 from?
Well, the reason I'm thinking that is because there's a -1 from the IO we got, and there's a -1 from the next
Right.
one,
There's -1 here.
and there's -1 there. I
Where?
thought you added the
On the left?
yeah, the left, yeah,
Okay, what are you trying to do, Nick? What you're trying to do is you're finding the charge on this side,
on this side.
and then you're
Oh,
trying
from
to
the
find
left
charge
side
on this
and
side.
on the right side. So we're
So
just doing
don't
it
mix
step by
left and
step.
right hand side. Yeah.
Okay, mixing
Tell
that
me
up.
the charge
Okay.
on just the right hand side of the arrow.
Oh, +3.
+3, right. So I gotta add electrons on one side. Tell me which side and how many.
Don't we need don't we need two electrons on the right side?
How will that help me? If I add 2 electrons, what charge will I get on the right hand side? If I just had 2 electrons, like you said.
Wouldn't you get -3? We're trying to get we're trying to get the same thing on that side. We're trying to get
Yeah.
+3, right?
No, we're not trying to get plus. Remember, see, first memorize all the rules. What was the
Right.
rule? Rule was that you're going to add the electrons on the more positive side.
Right.
Which one is more positive, -1 or +3?
+3 is the more positive, so it has to go on the
So
right
you
side.
need to add electrons on this side.
Yeah.
Tell me how many electrons. We want to make this +3 and -1 equal to each other. We want to make that +3 and -1 so that it's equal to -1.
Mm-hmm.
So how many electrons should I add to make a +3 become -1?
Well, 4, right?
4. Exactly. How do you know 4?
Because if you equal -4 and +3, that's -1.
Right, right, exactly. All right. So 4 electrons and then 7 electrons on the other one. So this is the checkpoint where you can tell your electrons are on the opposite sides.
Mm-hmm.
Your electron for this half of the reaction is on the left-hand side. Your electrons are on the right-hand side for this part, for this second half, which
Right.
is good. Our electrons should be on the opposite sides.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you, because that's what they told me too in the LRC, that you always have to have your electrons on the
Yeah, I
opposite
think I
on
said that
the
in the class. I don't think LRC would have told you that.
yeah, well, yeah, but again, you said that too in the class. You said, right, because you have to have on the opposite side. So right.
Right.
Okay.
So 7 on
Because
the left hand
that's.
side, 7, and then 4 on the right hand side.
Mhm.
We somehow got to make them equal. So what should we do?
Um, we're doing this in basic, or we're just doing it in aesthetic
See,
right
it
now.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Your first steps until you get to the balance equation are same.
Okay. Okay. Because don't we have to get don't we have to basically get the electrons to equal the same amount?
Right.
Um, in this case, would we go basically with the smaller amount of electrons, or would we go with or are we trying to
I
get the
mean, this
larger
is
amount?
7 here. This is 4 here. What do you think? How can we make them equal?
Well,
Our job is
can't
to
you
make them
add
equal.
can't you add 3 to 4 and then make it 7?
So will that not imbalance the charge?
Well, wait. I just thought of something. And don't you have to remember? Don't you have to multiply one of these? 'Cause
Yes.
remember, you have
Yeah.
to multiply one.
You have to multiply. So if you have
Mm-hmm.
to multiply, what number should I multiply each side by?
Well, on the right side, don't you have to multiply that by 4 so you can equal the same amount on that side, right?
So you mean this side? Here I should multiply this by 4?
Or do you have to multiply that by 2 because now we can get the same amount of h's on the both sides?
Okay, forget about the edges. Our goal is not to get the equal edges. Our goal is to get equal electrons.
Equal electrons. Yeah. Okay.
How
Because
do
wait,
I make?
don't we need to find the least common multiple between 4 and 7?
Yes, which is 4 and 7. So look here, Nick.
Yeah.
If this is 7 on the left hand side,
Mm-hmm.
if I times this by 4, what does it become? What's 7 times 4?
28.
Okay. What if I multiply this 4 with 7 on the right hand side? What is 7 times 4? 28.
Yeah.
That means I have to multiply this left part, I mean this first half, the whole thing, I have to multiply by 4. And this
Right.
whole right thing, I need to multiply by 7. That's when my electrons will be equal.
All right.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense because you're trying to equal the same amount of electrons, so that way we can do the rest of what we need to do, right?
Right. So 7 times 4, 28 electrons. What's 4 times 8?
4 times 8 is 32.
32 H plus. And then 4 ReO4 negative gives me 4 Re plus 4 times 4 is 16 H2O. Right?
Yeah.
So you see what we did? We times everything by 4 so that we have
Yeah.
28 electrons.
Mm-hmm. And then after what you do to the right side, like when you multiply that out,
By
then you
7.
can take once you multiply that by 7, you can compare each side and start canceling stuff out, right?
Right. So this is what we get. Right?
Yeah. And then we have 16 waters, right? Because you multiplied
Okay,
that, right?
wait. So follow steps, Nick, okay? Never jump to what do you think should be the next step.
Yeah, I mean, I
Always
was
go
just
by yeah, always
yeah, I was
go by the rules, okay? Go by the
yeah.
rules that were taught to you in the class.
Yeah, I was just following the number right there what you were copying. I wasn't trying to jump no other steps. I was trying to ask
Oh,
you if that
you're
was
just
16.
counting. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, where?
yeah.
This is 16 waters.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's 16 waters. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not trying to jump to nothing yet because if I don't follow the steps, I'm going to get confused.
Right. So now what's our next step? We have made our electrons equal. 28 electrons, 28 electrons. They're both on the opposite sides. That's good. What's our next step after this?
Let's see. I'm still copying some of those down because I don't want to mess up. Let's see. Is your screen keeps on going black?
I don't know why it's that happening. Maybe the internet?
Maybe. Now we can check to see what we can cancel out now, right?
Before that, you need to do something else. You need to add each side.
Yeah. Don't we need to add don't we need to add OHs to both sides again?
No, you're just jumping all your steps. Do you have the steps written anywhere?
Yeah, I have them in front of me.
So, what step are we on right now?
Um, Well, we added the waters already, and aren't we balancing hydrogens and adding? We already did number 4, which is
Right.
balancing hydrogen by adding
H
adding
plus.
H plus. So
Right.
now aren't we balancing change by adding electrons, making
Not
this
change,
make
charge. Balancing the charge by adding electrons. We did
balancing
that.
charge by adding electrons, making same to have equal electrons on both sides.
Yeah, we did that as well, right? 28, 28
Yeah,
electrons.
yeah.
What's the next step after this?
We're adding to both sides or to
We are
both
adding
halves.
both the sides. We are adding both the halves. What does that mean? So look here, okay?
Yeah,
What you have to do here is you're going to take this. You see the arrow?
yeah.
And for this one also, you see the arrow?
Mhm.
You see the left-hand side of the arrow for this half?
Uh huh.
You're going to add it to the left-hand side of the arrow of this half,
Mhm.
okay? And then you'll take this half, the right-hand side, and you're going to add it to this right-hand side. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to copy, okay? 28 electrons plus 32 protons plus 4 ReO4 negative.
Right.
What should I write next?
Uh, the
14
14
H2O
waters and the 7
IO negative.
ios.
Right. Now what do I write on the right-hand side?
You do 4 Re plus 16 waters, and the last one, which is 7 iO3 minus plus 28H plus 28 electrons.
Okay. All right. Now tell me what can we, now is a step where you're going to cancel, okay?
Right.
So don't cancel before you add everything together. Once you add everything together, after that you decide if they can be canceled. Your
Mhm.
electrons should always cancel.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Anything else that you see can be canceled?
It's 28H, and then the electrons, which is plus
I mean, you
28.
don't have to cancel like complete, but
Yeah,
can they be?
I'm writing it out so that way I
Oh,
can
okay.
see what we're doing exactly. Well, waters can cancel out.
Is it equal on both sides? We have 14
Um,
here, we got 16 here, so
yeah. Wouldn't that just be 2 on the right side then?
right. So I'll cancel this 14, and this 16 will become 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else?
The protons 32 and 28.
So this side is 32, and this side is 28. So all these 28 are gone. And how
Yeah.
many left here?
4.
4. Okay. And then anything else that you see can be canceled?
I don't see anymore.
No, so let's rewrite the whole thing. Okay. 4H plus 4ReO4 minus plus 7IO negative gives me 4Re plus 2H2O plus 7IO3 negative.
So you just recommend in this case, Amon, we just do it over and over as basic equations for all of them, right? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
way that
Because
way
it's
we can
basic,
get
you do all these steps, but you do 2 extra steps. So why not just do all of them as basic?
right. And now on the exam, you're mostly going to focus on the basic balancing redox equations, right? That's what you're mostly going to focus on, right? I mean, you're going to
There'll
focus
be
on the
one
other stuff, like,
question. There'll be one question, only one
but
question to balance a redox equation, and it's going to be basic.
right, but it'll be worth 24 points, you said, right? So that's why you want us to
No,
just
no,
get
no, no.
used to
It's
doing
going
it.
to work around 10 points, I would say. I never said 24 points.
Okay, but still, that's a lot of points. So 10
Oh, yeah,
points
for
is
sure, for sure, for sure.
that's why I'm asking
Oh, I
that.
think what I was saying was there was another question where, I mean, another topic which we covered, which was, writing the ionic equations, net
Mhm.
ionic equation, complete ionic equation. That one's going to be like 10 to 14 points. So totaled, everything is 24 points.
Well, what's the worksheet for that one, so I can get started on that one?
For that, you have, I don't know if there's a worksheet, but you can find tons of questions in your
Or is
textbook.
it what page?
Also,
Is that in
Um,
chapter 9 or is it still in
no,
chapter
no, it's
4?
still chapter 4. It will say writing equations. Let me see. Let me see the exercises that you guys have.
Because the last one you gave us was like E or something like that, correct?
Yeah. So you can pick exercise number F.
Right. Okay.
And for exercise F,
Oh, this is the one where we're seeing if it's not no
soluble.
reaction,
Yeah, no
no
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah.
It's basically on the little. It's the continuation of the little worksheet you get, of the little rule worksheet you gave us, right?
Right. So you're gonna finish these, and in addition to this, you're also going to write the complete ionic equation and net ionic equation. So find problems like that in your textbook. You're gonna find it in chapter 4 questions.
Okay. Because the way I think as I did these already actually.
Yeah, but do
Um.
them again. I mean, even if you did them,
Right.
don't look at the answers. Do them again based on
What I know, and
yeah,
then I could
that's all
check
you
my
know.
key, right? Because I haven't checked the key yet, honestly.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Now what I also wrote a note down too is that like if they're soluble and insoluble, there's a reaction, but if they're insoluble and insoluble, or if they're soluble and soluble, there's not a reaction,
No,
right?
insoluble, there is a reaction. If
Really?
nothing, see, the only time when the reaction is no reaction
Right.
is when everything is soluble,
Right.
or aqueous.
Okay, I think that's
Otherwise,
what I
in
wrote.
all the other conditions, you have a reaction.
Okay, but these will be multiple choice or will they be free response?
Free response.
Okay, and but you said you're gonna give us another worksheet like this, right, for the exam?
No, I didn't say, but you can just use the same worksheet to do that. I mean,
Really?
if you're able to do all these, and you're able to write all of these complete ionic equation, net ionic equation, I think you should be good.
Mm-hmm.
If for all of these you can write the complete ionic and net ionic. So first do the problems that we did in the class,
Right.
and then you do the same, use the same method to do these questions.
Because you said even if we have to do them again, it doesn't really matter because it'll help us in the long run, right?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I'm surprised I'm the only one here today.
Yeah, probably because of spring break.
Yeah, but still, it's better to start now and not wait till the exam because the exam will be the 24th will be here before you know it.
Right, that's true. Maybe
And
they're preparing, but not just here to ask questions.
I just wanted to come because you were offering it. Might as well just take advantage of it.
Yep, that's the right thing to do.
Now on next week, now before class on Monday, you said you also wanted us to read chapter 9, correct?
Yeah, start reading chapter 9.
And how's that? Is it going to be a little? Would you say it's going to be a little bit more challenging this stuff, or how's that going to work?
Yes, I'll say chapter number 9 and 5. They can be a little challenging, but again, depends on if you get the idea or not.
Right.
Some
That's why you
things are
recommend.
easier, some things are more challenging.
What will it still have stoichiometry in it or no?
Yeah, they still have some kind of stoichiometry.
Oh, and then but that's all. But it has that, and it has like other stuff like balancing equations and all that, or no?
Balancing, probably not, but it has stoichiometry, and then we're going to learn some new equations.
Right. And as you said that next week we're gonna have a quiz, right? When we go back to school,
Yes.
and it'll be due the Monday before class, or will it be due on the Wednesday before class? How's that gonna work?
You mean for next week? I think I'll post it um, from Wednesday, and then it'll be due over the weekend, like all
Right. So
the quizzes.
it'll be due like the Monday before class, like it normally is, or no?
Yeah, so not the coming week, but the week after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Might as well just be ready, you know. Will there be 5 questions or how many do you think?
Yeah, I think 5 questions.
'Cause these, I'm sure they're gonna have to. These, I'm sure you're gonna want us to take our time on them, right? Will it be like 30 minutes, or will it be 20, or how's that gonna work?
For which one? For the
For
quiz?
like, yeah, for chapter 9's quiz.
No, it's gonna be same like 20 minute quiz or 30 minute quiz like they have been. It's gonna be the same
Okay.
format.
Okay. Yeah. These ones you were like showing me with like the non-reaction and soluble and insoluble. They're in our notes, right? Too, right? From from Wednesday's lecture, or was it Monday's lecture before last week?
This I think we did on Wednesday, I believe. This is what we
Uh,
started with.
all right. Because you said to always look at that worksheet. It'll tell us if it's aqueous, right, and soluble, right? If it's
Right.
aqueous and soluble, then they do have a reaction, right?
If it's aqueous and soluble is the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because AQ means aqueous, right?
Right.
And S means soluble, right?
And that depends on the chart. If you
Right.
have the chart with you, you tell me what does S mean. It will say somewhere on the chart.
As it says, aqueous dissolves in water, and S is a solid. It doesn't
S
dissolve in
is
water.
solid. S is not. It's not soluble, right?
Right.
So S means it's a solid. Solid means it's not soluble.
Right.
Okay. So when you have a solid in your product side,
Mm-hmm.
that means the reaction is going to happen. If both
Mm-hmm.
are AQ, then the reaction is not going to happen.
Yeah, like when you put like with the problem you put up there on in class that said PB2 or PB plus 2 and 2NO3 minus 1 plus
That's not
CA
what I
plus.
put. I put PbNO3 2. I started with this PbNO3 2. So read before that. PbNO3 2
Mhm.
plus what else?
um plus CaOH 2 and
Right.
PbOH, right?
That yes,
PbOH
you
2.
are going to decide. So I'll only give you this much. So on the test, I'll only give you this much. You will tell me what two products are made, whether they are soluble or insoluble. That you are going to decide. I'll only give you this much. I'll tell you that this is AQ and this is AQ, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
You are going to decide the products.
Okay,
That's why
well,
that's why I'm saying to do this worksheet.
this worksheet again.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Would you also recommend that we look at like that we come up with some from like our notes also and cover them back up so that way we can do that too, or no?
Sure, why not? I mean, no
I mean, I
method
know
is
because
a wrong method. If you have your own method of doing anything, that's fine. That's totally fine.
I mean either way, I might as well do um, both the worksheet and this. Might
Right.
as well. I mean, they won't hurt. Um, for example, like on some of the ones from the worksheet, you like for example, if they're not balanced, you have to put like a 2 in front of them for like a coefficient, right? As well, or no?
Yes. So if they're not balanced, then you have to balance them.
That makes sense. You just can't believe how fast time has gone. We're gonna already be in school already next week again.
Yeah.
But I was wondering too, Amon, like on Monday too, you'll be in your office, right? Like around like your normal time, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Because I was wondering too of like also practicing a little bit more than 5 questions if I can see you on Monday.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, I'm just trying to do well in the next exam because that's going to determine if I pass the class or not. I'm like 6% away from getting a 70% in exams.
Right.
So,
Right.
would you say I can turn it around or no?
Sure, you can. I mean, it totally depends on how
On
you're
my
gonna do your third exam. Then, of course, the final exam. Just don't lose hope, and then don't lose your. I mean, keep
motivation.
working on it. Yeah, don't lose your motivation, and then just keep working on it, and then just stay on top of the material.
Well, that's why. Another thing too, I was wondering. Our lab 11 is going to be the balancing redox and stuff, right?
Yes, yes, you can work on that as well. That's a good practice. So try to finish that in the spring break.
Okay. Will that be that's going to be due on Wednesday for 3880, right? That's the
Uh,
class I'm in.
so yeah, it'll be due on that day. Yes. I mean,
Okay.
I'll see how students are working with it. If they'll need more time, I'll give them more time. If they are doing okay, then I'll make it due on Wednesday.
Okay. If we need more time, will you just give it to us so we can like practice it before the exam, like how you did last time, or
I
how's
mean,
that
you can
gonna
just
work?
take pictures of it.
Okay. I mean, like
Also, if you
today I
get
wasn't.
stuck, their keys are uploaded on Canvas.
Okay. Like again, I saw you're gonna have it on Friday, so I'm gonna try my best to get there on Wednesday.
Right.
Because I don't wanna fall behind, and I'm sure like I practice. I'm sure this practicing I did with you will help me, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
would you say I just got to remember these steps? Would you say I'm a little bit on the right track with these, or
Yes, you
no?
are for sure. Yeah, you're doing well. Just make sure you remember your steps. If you remember the steps, then these questions are not too bad.
Okay, because they really don't seem that bad for me, honestly.
Yeah,
I just feel like how you said, just practice the steps and like practice them in order.
right.
For
And
the
then
for
stop looking at
balance,
the steps. You have to memorize the steps, so because you won't have the steps on your exam with you.
right? Exactly. So, I don't want to do that. The reason I asked, Ahmad, because about the worksheet, because you wrote the steps for me on back of the worksheet for
Right.
the that had like the solubles, the solids, and the aqueous.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if I should print up another one so that way I could just make it fair, because I just don't want to get accused of cheating and then possibly get
Hmm.
suspended from the class or from the school, with you
Oh, for
for the
using
exam.
on the exam, I
Because
don't. You don't keep your notes, right?
yeah, but the thing is, you wrote the steps for me on the worksheet you gave us in class, for
Yeah,
like
but then you don't get that on the exam, right? I give you a new one.
that's what I was asking. You were going to give us a new one,
Yes, yes, yes.
you know. So that way I'm just trying to make it fair, because I just don't want
Uh-huh.
to get in trouble for
Yeah,
for
we
something
definitely we
that
always want to make sure that even if students don't are not aware, we have to
hmm
make sure that it's a fair system. So we never allow you to bring any notes. That's why we
yeah.
give you a new table, new chart, new product table on the exam.
Okay. Well, the next chapter will. I know we're going to be using the periodic table and stuff, but you said it's going to be very similar to the last stuff we covered, or in stoichiometry, or it's going to be a little bit different. What you say?
I mean, you start reading textbook, you will know. I can't
Yeah, I mean,
explain how different it is.
yeah, I mean, I might as well. That's something I also wanted to do too during the spring break, is we read the textbook. So
Right, right.
because might as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good practice. So on the balance on the lab that's due on Wednesday, are you gonna want us to take it all the way to the basic equations, or
The
you just
first
want us to
four,
just
no, the first four are aesthetic and the last four are basic.
so there's a total of 8 questions?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how you want us to do it.
Uh-huh. I
Okay.
mean, the lab says what to do. It
hmm
says the first four are aesthetic and the next four are basic.
Yeah, for like the one you just wrote out, Amon, like right here, you have on your screen.
Uh-huh.
Um, wouldn't that be PbO2 and then CaNO3 too, right?
It's going to be PB, OH2, and
Right.
CaNO3 2.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because you just basically just switch those around, right? And then now you decide to see if
It is
they're
not
if
this simple. In this case, that worked.
right,
You always have to break them down into the ions. This is going to break into Pb plus 2 and NO3 negative 1.
right.
This will break into Ca plus 2 and OH negative 1. And then you did the crisscross. Pb plus 2 took the OH minus, and calcium
hmm
plus 2 took NO3 minus. And that's
Right.
how we got these products.
Okay, that makes sense. It's not always going to be that way. Would you say again? This is where our formula will help us, right, and stuff, right?
Right, right.
And now we decide. Now we look at our chart
The
to
chart.
see. For that is these two are aqueous for the first two, but now I have to look at the product to see
Right.
that. And then we have lead 2, and that is OH, which is hydroxide, right?
Uh-huh.
And then for that, it is a solid. That one right there for PbO2H, that's a solid.
Okay.
And for calcium NO3, which is nitrate, right?
Right.
That's aqueous.
Okay. Yep. So this tells you that the reaction is going to work because there's a
Right.
solid formation.
Right.
Yep. So
Now,
this is just the
now if
first
it
step.
was now if it was a solid in the solid, it wouldn't work, right?
No, it'll still work.
Really?
Yes. If there's one or more than one solid, it is going to work. If there's no solid, it's not going to work.
Okay. Now if it was just aqueous, it's just no reaction, right?
Right, right.
Because you're trying to see what dissolves in water and what doesn't dissolve in water
Right, right,
frequently, right? And
right.
why is it? That's just how it is, or what?
You'll have to learn your complete ionic equation and then the net ionic equation to understand this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember complete ionic equation, net ionic equation?
Is it similar to what we just did, or is it a little bit different?
Yeah, very similar. If you read your notes, you will see
Mm-hmm.
that when you write the complete ionic equation, whatever we
Mm-hmm.
wrote on top, we write that here. That
Right.
PbNO3 breaks into Pb plus 2, which is
Right.
aqueous. And this gives me 2NO3 minus, which is also aqueous. And then CaOH2 breaks into Ca plus 2 and 2OH minus.
Right.
This is aqueous, and this is also aqueous. And then on the right-hand side, the one which is solid, PbOH2,
Right.
you're going to write it as it is because it's not aqueous. It's solid,
Right.
so you don't break it.
Right.
The next one is again aqueous, so you are going to break it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're writing the net ionic equation, you will only write the things that did not cancel.
Right.
So does Pb plus 2 cancel? No, there's no Pb plus 2 on the right hand side. Does
No.
2NO3 minus cancel? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Does Ca plus 2 cancel? Yes.
Yeah, because there's
So
one on
the
that side.
only thing left is Pb plus 2 aqueous plus 2OH minus aqueous gives me PbOH2 solid. So this is my net ionic equation.
Right. Okay.
So you have to do all these three on the test. So
Okay.
first, this is the molecular equation where you have everything in the molecular form.
Right.
You predict the products and tell me whether they're solid or aqueous. That's your first one. Then make sure it's balanced. This one was already balanced, so I didn't need to balance it. If it was not balanced, you'll balance it.
Right.
And after that, your second step is writing the complete ionic equation, and third
Right.
is writing the net ionic equation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is what you gotta learn. This is what you gotta do for all these 12 reactions that you see here.
Okay. Now you'll put this on Canvas, right? This video, or no?
I'll I'll upload this.
I mean, just so that way I can look back at it too in these couple of days when I do my lab and stuff. So that way I can look at it as reference, just so
Sure.
I can need to know what I can understand and stuff.
Sure.
So far, you said I'm improving, so I want to keep it that way. I don't want to
Okay.
keep on going. So
Yep.
I'm trying to keep my effort in there because I know it'll pay off eventually.
Right.
So how many more labs and quizzes would you say we have? Because we're almost to the end of the semester, right?
You can check the schedule. The schedule will tell you how many more labs and quizzes.
Okay.
We're halfway right now.
We're halfway right now.
Yeah.
Still feels like it's getting real though, because you wouldn't think that time doesn't go fast, and it really does. So
Mm-hmm.
But all this should be in my notes from Wednesday's lecture, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I appreciate, even though I'm the only one that came, I'm on. At least thank you
That's
for at
good.
least helping. Thank you for at least helping me.
That's good one that you're here.
I just have no choice, Amon. I'm really trying to get done with chemistry on my first try, so
Uh-huh.
that's why I'm trying to
And that'll be a
put in
great
the
job
effort
if
and
you,
understand.
yeah, yeah.
It's just I'm taking this right now in Anatomy 102 because I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to be a nursing major.
Right.
So if everything goes, if I get done with this and chemistry, I'll just have microbio left.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you that you're a biology teacher, would you say that microbio has chemistry in it, or no? Not so much.
There is, I will not say too much. There's
Mm-hmm.
certainly more biology than chemistry in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to do this class
Mm-hmm.
and you're an physiology, I don't think you'll have trouble in microbiome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just am trying to succeed. You know what I mean? But like how you
Mhm.
said, it's not just about putting in the effort. You put in the effort, but you have to also understand the material.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to do. But I appreciate the fact that you at least did these virtual hours during spring
Uh-huh.
break. I'm surprised you
Yeah.
didn't do it on Sunday this week.
Yeah, I didn't do it last week. I thought not many students will show up. I thought I'll give you guys more time where, you get more time with during the holidays to study, and then if you have questions, maybe then
Okay.
that's why I kept it today, then keeping it on just Friday or Saturday or Sunday when you
Mm-hmm.
might not have students might not have studied that much,
Because this is the
might not
only
have
one for
questions.
them. But this is the only one for the week, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Once we get back to school, are you going to decide what day you're going to do it again, or
Yeah, same.
you're
It's
not
gonna be
sure?
probably the same. Like Monday, Wednesday is your office hours on campus,
Yeah,
and then
but
either gonna be Friday or Sunday office hours, like usual.
oh, okay, it's good to know. Yeah, just my main concern is I don't want to fall behind because it seems like in this class that if you fall behind, it's very difficult to catch up.
Yep, should cover a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, but so on the final amount, will it be everything, or will it be the last two chapters only?
No, it'll be everything.
And well, how many questions should we? How more? Normally, how many questions does your final work run?
It's same multiple choice, around 20-25 questions, and 4 to 5 free response questions.
Oh, okay. Because the last exam, it seems like I understood mostly everything that was on it, which was good. It just seems like this time I'm starting to pick it up, though. I just want to make sure that the next stuff I
Uh-huh.
understand it
Yeah.
as well. So, and then, but for like chapter 9 stuff, there'll be worksheets on it, right? Or are you going to
Yeah.
give or will there be a different exercise that I need to also do, or what?
Yes. There are exercises that I'll
Okay,
give out. There are also um also exercises they're already uploaded on Canvas if you want to take a look.
really?
Also the exercises are uploaded, the worksheets are already up there.
Okay. What exercises will it be? Because I know the E through H was the one from the last exam, right?
So exercises, if you go to exercise not G, but if you here look at I, that's the exercise that you can start working on if you want.
Right.
Exercise I, and then also K.
Okay, G, not G. These aren't on the same. These aren't on the same ones from the last exam, right? These are different, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with a K, I, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Those are what we need to do. Okay, but you'll probably hand them out next week during class, right? Or you're not sure yet?
Yes, now I'll hand them out in the class.
Because I've also noticed too that if you don't do these worksheets, then you're not going to understand the material as well. So,
Right, right.
is it almost time for you to go, Amon, or no?
Yeah, yeah. Do you we have like a minute left.
Okay. So basically, on the ones you just did with me, you always have to recommend for like moleculars to do the crisscross, and then if it's aqueous in the solid, then there's a reaction. But if it's aqueous, there's not a
Right.
reaction, right?
Right. Right.
And and for number two, which is the other equation, that's how you just do that one, or
Right. You break everything into the ions.
hmm and then the same for like the third one,
The
or no?
last one you just write the ones which are not cancelled.
Okay. All right. That
They're
sounds
together,
good.
okay? First, second, third. You do the first one
Okay.
first, then you do second, then you do third.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. That makes sense. All right.
Right.
All
All right,
right.
then I'll end the meeting here, okay?
I'll see you on Monday then.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
see you.
Have a good spring break. All right.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.